A 90-pound black and tan German Shepherd sat in a shelter for 583 days. 26 families walked past his kennel. Every single one of them kept walking. Too big, too dark, too intense. Then one young mother signed the papers anyway. And what this unwanted dog did at 2:47 in the morning, 8 months later, proved every single one of those 26 families wrong. Rachel Whitfield was 29 years old, a brand new mother, and living in a house that still felt like somebody else's. She and her husband Tyler had moved to Castle Rock, Colorado, just south of Denver off I-25, 3 months before their son was born. Tyler worked in logistics and was on the road 4 days a week. Rachel had left her job, left her friends, left the only city she had ever known, and now spent most of her days alone at the edge of a new subdivision with a baby boy named Owen and a silence that pressed in from every corner. She wasn't looking for a dog. She was barely keeping herself together. Some mornings she sat at the kitchen island at 6 a.m., coffee going cold in her hands, and could not remember the last time she had spoken to another adult face to face. It was her sister who said it first. "You need something in that house that's happy to see you." Rachel laughed it off, but on a gray afternoon in February, with snow piling against the windows, she drove down to Front Range Rescue just to get out of the house. That was the only reason she gave herself. Most of the dogs barked, jumped, spun in circles. Then she reached the last kennel on the end. Inside was a German Shepherd, not just big, massive, 90 pounds of lean muscle, a deep black saddle fading into rich tan, and dark eyes that did not lift when she stopped. He lay flat against the concrete, chin on the floor, facing the wall. He did not bark, he did not move. He had simply stopped trying. A shelter worker named Gabriella stepped up beside her. "That's Ranger. He's been with us 583 days. We've had 26 families come through for him. Not one filled out the paperwork. He's a 90-pound adult German Shepherd who looks like the dog every horror movie tells you to fear, so people take one look and keep walking. He's been returned twice. The last family brought him back after 9 days and said he was too much. After a while, a dog just gives up." I see you still haven't subscribed, and honestly, that stings a little. Ranger waited 583 days for someone to stay. All I'm asking is that you stay too. Subscribe. Rachel crouched down. Ranger did not get up, but for the first time, he lifted his eyes and held her gaze, just for a second. And in that second, Rachel saw something she recognized because she had been seeing it in her own mirror for 3 months. The look of someone left somewhere who had stopped believing anyone was coming back. "I'll take him," she said. Gabriella blinked. "You have a baby." "I know," Rachel said. "He needs somebody to stay. So do I." Tyler found out by text that night, on the road 2 states away. "We have a dog now. He's a German Shepherd. He's 90 pounds. His name is Ranger. I'll explain when you're home." He called 3 times. She let everyone go to voicemail. The first week, Ranger kept his distance. He didn't knock anything over, didn't explore, didn't sniff a single corner. He walked to the farthest spot in the living room, lay down with his back to the room, and stayed. He ate only when nobody was watching. At night, he lay by the back door, as far from everyone as the house allowed, like a rescued dog still waiting to be returned. For 9 days, he was polite, gentle, and somewhere else entirely. Rachel started to wonder if the 26 families had seen something she had missed. And then came the moment that changed everything. It was a Tuesday afternoon. Rachel had laid Owen on a blanket for tummy time. Ranger was in his corner, chin on the carpet, eyes half closed. Owen, 6 months old and just discovering that his arms could reach, squirmed and rolled inch by inch across the blanket. Rachel reached to scoop him back, and then she stopped. Owen had rolled all the way to Ranger, and before she could move, her son reached up with one tiny open hand and pressed it flat against the side of the German Shepherd's enormous face. Ranger froze. Every muscle in that 90-pound body went still. And then, slowly, so slowly, Ranger lowered his head into that little hand, closed his eyes, and let out a long, shaking breath, the kind you only let out when you have been holding it for a very, very long time. 583 days, maybe. From that moment, Ranger was a different dog. That single touch undid every one of those 583 days of giving up. By the next morning, he had moved from the back door to the hallway outside the nursery. By the end of the week, he had given himself a job nobody assigned. Every morning at 5:50 a.m., before Owen made a sound, Ranger walked to the nursery door and tapped it twice with one paw. 2 soft taps, never a bark, his way of saying the baby was about to wake, and Rachel came to trust it more than her own alarm. He developed a language just for Owen, a low, rolling warble deep in his chest whenever the baby was in the room, somewhere between a groan and a song. He never made that sound for anyone else, and he adopted Owen's stuffed dinosaur, a ragged green thing Rachel had named Dino. Wherever Owen napped, Ranger carried Dino to the doorway and guarded it like it was made of gold, then handed it back the second Owen woke, every single time. As Owen grew from a baby into a wobbling, crawling tornado, the family started calling Ranger his shadow. When Owen crawled toward the staircase, 90 pounds of German Shepherd slid between him and the steps before he got within 3 feet. When Owen reached for the cords behind the television, Ranger's body became a wall. Not aggressive, not loud, just there. This was the dog that refused to leave the baby's side, an immovable, gentle boundary made of fur and loyalty. Tyler, who had been so sure his wife had lost her mind, came home one Friday to find Ranger lying with his chin 2 inches from Owen's high chair, watching the baby drop peas on the floor. He stood in the doorway, then sat down next to the 90-pound dog the world had thrown away and said, "I owe you an apology, buddy." But here's something most people don't understand about German Shepherds. For over 100 years, they have been bred for one thing above all others: to watch over what is theirs and put themselves between it and danger, without ever being told. Nobody trained Ranger to guard Owen. He simply decided, the day that tiny hand touched his face, that this child was his now, forever. Stories like this are exactly why this channel exists. And if this one is making you feel something right now, you are exactly who we make them for. The night that changed everything came in October, when Owen was 13 months old. It was 2:47 in the morning. Tyler was away, somewhere on a highway 2 states over. Rachel was deep in the kind of sleep exhausted mothers finally fall into. The house was dark and silent and cold, and then Ranger started barking, not his low warning sound, not the warble he saved for Owen. This was something Rachel had never heard from him in 8 months. Sharp, frantic, relentless, a sound that sat her straight up in bed before she understood why. She could hear that 90-pound body throwing itself against her bedroom door. She opened it and she smelled it before she saw it. Smoke. Thick and sharp and wrong, rolling down the hallway from the living room where an electrical fault in an outlet behind the entertainment center had begun to smolder inside the wall. She could already taste it at the back of her throat, acrid and chemical. The smoke detector, the one with the battery she had been meaning to replace for a month, was silent. Ranger did not run from the smoke. He ran toward the nursery, planted himself in front of Owen's door, 90 pounds facing to gathering haze, barking until Rachel understood. She scooped Owen out of his crib, pressed him to her chest, and the 3 of them, Rachel, Owen, and the dog 26 families had walked away from, went out the front door into the freezing Colorado night as the first orange glow flickered behind the living room window. The fire department arrived in 7 minutes. The captain told her later that with an electrical fire inside a wall in a sealed house with a dead detector, she and her son might have had 4 more minutes before the smoke reached the nursery. 4 minutes. Ranger had given them every one. The same dog nobody wanted. The same 90-pound German Shepherd 26 families looked at and called too much. The same animal returned twice and left to give up on ever being chosen. That night, the thing the world had thrown away was the only reason a mother and her 13-month-old son walked out of that house alive. The unwanted dog had saved them both. News of what Ranger did spread fast. When a neighbor shared the story online, Front Range Rescue was flooded with calls. 41 families applied to adopt that same month, every single one asking for a dog like the one nobody had wanted for 583 days. Today, Owen is 4 years old. Ranger is 7. The house was repaired long ago, and a new detector hums on every ceiling now, but it isn't the one Rachel trusts. Every night, without being asked, Ranger still walks to Owen's door, checks the room, and lies down across the threshold. He has done it for almost 3 years. Owen still can't say Ranger properly. He calls him Rah-Rah. And every morning at 5:50, 2 soft taps still land on the nursery door. If a dog is barking in the dark, refusing to settle, throwing himself at a door, there is always a reason. Don't dismiss it. Trust them. They can sense things we lost the ability to sense a long time ago. And sometimes a few seconds of trust is the difference between everything and nothing. And if you are ever standing in a shelter looking at the dog nobody else wanted, the big one, the dark one, the one lying in the back who has stopped lifting his eyes, look a little longer, because the forever home that dog stopped believing in might be standing right in front of him. And sometimes the one the whole world walked away from is the one who will walk through fire for you. 26 families looked at Ranger and saw a problem. One lonely young mother looked at him and saw herself. And one baby boy reached out and gave him a reason to live again. Would you have given Ranger a chance, or would you have kept walking like the other 26? Tell me in the comments.